Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. My name is Odasha. I am a professional licensed cosmetologist and a graduate from YouTube University. In today's video, we're going to be talking about protective styles. Why your hair is not growing in your protective style. So first off, let me start off by saying your hair is growing. I cannot tell you how often I get that comment from guests in my chair, from people that I hear. They always say, oh, my hair doesn't grow, my hair doesn't grow. Your hair is growing. Everyone's hair is growing. If your hair wasn't growing, you wouldn't need to cover up your gray. If your hair wasn't growing, you wouldn't be relaxing your new growth. If your hair wasn't growing, you wouldn't see that little new growth. When you have braids, your braid would not move at all if your hair was not growing. Hair growth is not the issue. The issue is length retention. And of course, I'm assuming if you're here, you already know what a protective style is, but just in case, let's talk about it. A protective hairstyle is a hairstyle that is designed to minimize hair manipulation, reduce exposure to environmental stressors, help retain length by keeping the ends tucked away. And these styles are typically used to protect natural hair, curly hair, wavy hair, kinky hair, textured hair from damage. Some types of protective styles are braids, twists, a bun, wigs, weaves, and bantu knots, just to name a few. Protective styles can have many benefits, such as helps your hair to retain moisture, it can help prevent breakage, it can encourage hair growth, and it saves time because it's usually a low maintenance hairstyle. Now, while protective styles are amazing, many women today are not seeing the growth of their protective style. Here are 7 reasons why you probably are not retaining the length of your protective style. 1, too much tension, especially around the edges. As you can see with my braids, I typically do my edges very loose. Of course, that's not always ideal because you usually want your hair to look snatched. But that's okay because we also want to, it's more important to protect our edges. And I actually don't even use edge control on my edges every single day. I like to give my edges a break and let them do what they do. And too much stress causes stress on the hair follicles, leading to breakage, especially around the edges. So you want to be very careful and protective of your edges. Number 2, lack of moisture. I can guarantee you some of y'all are getting them braids and leaving your hair alone. As soon as y'all get them braids, that's the last time you see your hair, and that should not be the case. You want to moisturize your hair when it's in a protective style. When you allow your hair to get very dry, it becomes brittle and snaps and breaks, and you do not want that. I'm going to show you an illustration. What happens when you water a plant? As you can see, this plant is green, it's beautiful, the soil is moist. The plant is thriving. It's doing very well. What happens when you stop watering your plant? It becomes dry, brittle, and it dies. No! So think of your hair as a plant. You want your hair to have adequate amount of moisture. Not too much because it can kill the plant, and not too little because it can kill the plant. And if you don't feel comfortable taking care of or maintaining your hair in your protective style, make sure you have those honest conversations with your hairstylist. I know for me and my guests, I have a couple of clients that have sew-ins, and they prefer that I maintain their hair while it's in those protective styles. Number 3, prolonged wear. Leaving your protective style in, contrary to what YouTubers said, contrary to what you may have heard, if you leave your protective style in for too long, it can lead to excessive matting, tangling, which makes detangling extremely difficult and increases the breakage risk. Especially if you have very fine hair. If you have fine hair, just think of your hair like a crystal glass. You can't just throw it in the sink. You gotta put it to the side. You might have to hand wash it and dry it and put it away right away. It can't hang out with the other dishes. I cannot tell you how many times I have had to beg a guest to remove their protective style. I understand things are expensive and you guys are trying to get your money's worth, but let me tell you, if your goal is to grow your hair, to retain length, to eventually wear your hair one day, you have to take care of your hair. You cannot leave those protective styles in for a long period of time. Have those honest conversations with your stylist. Go in between time and let her look at your scalp. Let her look at your hair. As much as we are trying to stretch a dollar, do not do that at the risk of your hair. Trust me. Number 4, improper insulation or removal. Personally, I always encourage my guests to come back to me and let me remove your hair, especially if you don't have anyone at home that is able to tell you you're cutting your hair. Don't cut too much. At least with me removing or having the hairstylist that installed your hair remove it, they will make sure that they remove it properly and accurately because they know how they installed it. Yes, our hair is very strong. It can withstand a lot, but we don't want to put our hair through unnecessary stress that causes damage. So yes, it is one of my pet peeves when people tell me that certain hairstyles cause damage, certain hairstyle, oh, you can't get tape-ins, they break your hair off. Oh, you can't get this, it breaks your hair off. No. It's either how it was installed or how it was removed. Okay, the styles themselves do not break your hair off. But if you don't know what you're doing, go to a professional. Number 5, and this one may surprise you, but product buildup. Yes, product buildup. I know this is definitely for my braid girlies. It's very common that when our head is itching, our scalp is itching, we want to just put some oil and continue to put oil and oil and oil and oil. Yes, too much oil can cause product buildup. If your scalp is not properly cleansed, it can lead to buildup. Buildup from oils, from dirt, dryness, which can also lead to, yes, brittleness and breakage. So clean your scalp. I would highly encourage you to find a professional hairstylist where you can get a pro scalp treatment. Think of your scalp as the soil that I showed you. In order for the plant to thrive, it has to have good soil. So you want to make sure your scalp is clean. Your scalp is skin and it still needs TLC. Tender loving care. Number 6, weakened hair. If your hair is already damaged from hair color, from heat damage from chemical treatments, or previous breakage, your hair may not be able to withstand the tension from a protective style. And that's okay, there are other options. I remember when I was platinum blonde, yes, I was platinum blonde, I would still get my box braids, still. And this is before I had enough knowledge to make sure that I was hydrating my hair. So whenever I would take my braids out, it was like coming out by the clumps and I could not figure it out. I would brush it and it would just and it's because my hair was dry. And so all of the growth that I got having those braids from that protective style, it was in vain. Number 7, friction from extensions. Extensions can be your best friend or your worst enemy. For example, I know you guys have been seeing all the articles about braiding hair causing cancer, causing different health defects. The number one thing that you can do if you are going to continue to use braiding hair, because let's be honest, there's not a whole lot of options. Yes, you can go completely human hair. Someone who braids their own hair, that is not ideal. Human hair is very, very slippery. So I do like to use the synthetic hair and mix it with the human hair, or at least use the synthetic hair to start my braid and then finish with the human hair. Now, I have seen some girlies who do complete human hair, but sometimes you just want the style that you want. You can't even get the traditional box braid hairstyle with just human hair. So what can you do? You can wash your synthetic hair. I have not done a video on this in a while, but maybe I should. Maybe I'll do some short form content so I can show you guys exactly how to properly wash and clean your synthetic hair. And you should wash your human hair as well, because there's no telling where that came from. For example, if you soak your braiding hair in apple cider vinegar and water, it removes that alkaline coating. It has like that, it's like white and foamy. It's kind of gross. Yeah, it's kind of gross, but it removes all of that. And then you let the hair air dry, and actually the braiding experience is much better even after you remove all of that. So I would recommend it regardless. So you want to make sure your extensions are properly prepped in order to decrease friction, which can weaken the hair. In short, to minimize breakage, we are going to make sure our hair is well moisturized before, during, and after our protective styles. We are going to avoid unnecessary tension. We are going to clean our scalp, and we are going to carefully detangle our hair when removing. What is the point of having a protective style if all that new growth is just in vain? If you do not care for your hair while it is protected, that's what you are doing. You are wearing a protective style in vain. Now, if you just don't care about your hair and you just want the style to just be the style, then this video is not for you. But for the girlies that are actually trying to grow their hair using a protective style, or just have a protective style just to give themselves a break from styling their hair every day, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's very, very, very important for us to protect our hair. Your scalp and your hair is worth the investment. You are worth the investment. If I shared something new with you today, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. All things hair, health, and beauty.